Okay, you guys, so I took a little while to actually sit down to film this video. I specifically wanted to wait until Liam and Bryce at least were in school and only Myles was here, because especially Liam, I really didn't need Liam to be home while I was talking about this. Anyways, also I could not find a piece to my tripod, so I had to sit you guys on the couch, so probably not the best setup. But if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I've noticed that some of you guys do and some of you guys don't. So some of you guys know this and some of you guys don't. But my mom passed on August 8th. She passed pretty early that morning. And I mentioned it over on Instagram, but I hadn't really, well, honestly, this is the first video I've filmed since she passed. The past couple of videos that you guys have watched, I had actually filmed beforehand, which was honestly a good thing that I had done that, because otherwise you guys probably would have gotten no videos for the past couple of weeks. To be honest, right now, I'm just completely drained, and that's one of the reasons why it took me so long to film this video, because I've either been crying my eyes out the whole day or I'm actually having a good day, and so I didn't want to do this to myself, like get in front of the camera and talk about it if I'm actually having a good mental health day. Myles is running through the house. It's just so strange. She's the first person super close to me that I have lost, and I literally sat, honestly, right here. I sat where the camera's sitting. I was just sitting right here, and my mom was watching the boys for me because I needed to film an ad that I was struggling with filming, and she was just over here, drove over here to watch them so that I could film it, because she knew how frustrated and flustered I would get sometimes filming ads. And it was so recent that that brand hasn't even paid me yet. Actually, it's because of issues on their end. Actually, they're late. But it's just really strange. She went from being like independent and doing everything herself, and she was driving, you know, and all the things, to she went into the hospital. One of my sisters and my brother took her into the hospital, and she walked into that hospital with my sister. And I don't know, my little sister thinks that she like literally had a stroke while in the hospital just because of how everything played out. I don't know, it's just like she declined, and she declined a bit in the hospital, but she declined obviously much more drastically once she was in the nursing home. And it's just so hard to like wrap my head around, because she went into the hospital on June 9th. That's when she went into the hospital. And then she was in, then they moved her to the nursing home towards the end of June. And then she passed on August 8th. While I feel like in a way it saved us from like obviously a sudden unexpected death sucks, right? But it still felt so fast. I feel like they just took her to the hospital. Anyways, basically we got a call like we did, similar to the one we had gotten before, where they said that they felt like she was gonna pass soon, or they knew that she was gonna pass soon. So on the 7th, you know, we all saw her. We went up there and like we really like sat up there for hours. All day long she just wasn't doing anything. She wasn't talking, moving, nothing, not moving a muscle, not moving a finger, not opening her eyes. They couldn't get her to take her medication or eat or drink or anything. I mean, it was like she was laying there asleep, but she had like short, like shallow breathing, and her heart was racing, like you could see it. So we stayed there. I mean, we stayed and hung out with her for a while, you know, but it was, again, like she was just laying there sleeping. And we all left that night, and actually my youngest, or my little sister, Allison, some of you guys know who she is, she was getting ready that morning to go back and see her. We were gonna go back and see her the next day, and Allison was just getting ready, and then she started driving there. And for Allison, I could be wrong, but I want to say it's probably like a 45-minute drive from her house to where Mom was, and I'm about 30 minutes from it. So, and I'm in between where Allison lives and where Mom was. So anyways, Allison's driving there, and my older sister Heather got the phone call. So then she basically called Allison and asked her where she was. Allison was roughly like, she was passing through the town I live in. And so Heather stopped her and kind of just like made up something, told her something to get her to her in person. And she told her, and then it's weird because my older sister Heather had Liam. He stayed the night with her that night. And so it's so weird, like I actually had a plan to like film that day and stuff, and I was waiting on Heather to drop Liam off. So whenever there was a knock at my door, I didn't have any thoughts. I was just like, okay, it's Heather dropping Liam off. And when I opened the door, Heather and Allison were both standing there, and I'm dumb, call me dumb, because I was just smiling at them, and I was like, why are y'all both here? Like them giving me bad news was the farthest thing from my mind. I don't know why I thought they were both here, but I didn't think it was because they were going to tell me that Mom had passed. And when they told me, if you were to ask Heather, like I know, it's like when they told me, it didn't sink in. It was not one of those moments where I just started crying. Like I was just like, okay, well, and like I had just taken a shower and stuff. My hair was air dried. And I literally was like, okay, well, I have to straighten my hair. And then I guess I just need to finish getting ready real quick so we can go up there. They still had to go and tell my brother. So they said that, if I wanted to do that while they went and told him, that's fine, unless I wanted to come with. And again, it's like it didn't sink in. And I was like, that's fine. Y'all can go do that. I'll finish getting ready. That way afterwards we can go up there. And they left, and I went in the bathroom and started straightening my hair, and then I just started crying. And I called my cousin Laura. Hold on, I feel like Myles has like done something to his TV. Hold on. Okay, I guess I'm going crazy, but I did get some of this because I don't think there's any tissues anywhere, and I've just been wiping my nose. So once they got back, we all figured everything out with the kids and things like that, and we went up there. I had never seen anyone after they had passed other than at a funeral, and it took me a little while to get the image out of my head. Again, call me dumb, I thought that I was gonna walk in there and it was going to be like how my mom looked the day before. She just wouldn't be breathing because the day before she just looked like she was sleeping. All the hours that we were there, she did nothing. She was just like she was sleeping. But that is not what we walked into the room to, and it took me a while to get the image out of my head. I feel like each day that it was like, for the first couple of days, it's all I saw was how she looked clear in my head. And it started to fade as days went on, and now it's almost all the way gone. I would have to try really, really hard to imagine or to see it, but I wouldn't want to, obviously. And I think the funeral helped because they did a really good job. And I think that she looked like herself. I know that some people say that their loved one it doesn't look like them, but I think Mom kind of didn't even look like herself, just like when she was in the nursing home alive. It was the strangest thing. Even her laugh didn't sound like her laugh. It was bizarre. So I just think maybe that's why, to me, at the funeral, all of us thought so, that they did a good job. Liam has been the hardest. The hardest part, because he was so close to her. And I think I told you guys in another video, I don't know the last time he saw her before just like visiting her in the nursing home. I don't know. I feel like the last few months of school, I was just felt so busy, and I don't know. I know the last time that Bryce and Myles saw her, because it was like one of the last few times I saw her, and they were with me, but Liam was in school. Mom passed on the 8th, and Liam actually started school the next day, the very next day on the 9th. And he knew, we told him. And on his first day of school, he drew a picture for Mom. And I took a picture of it, it was like two-sided, and one side just had flowers on the back of it. When he got home, he said, "I wish we could send this to Granny." Like send this to Granny, I think is what he meant. And I was like, yeah, I know, me too. And I ended up explaining to him what a funeral was. I explained it to him, and I told him it was completely up to him if he wanted to go. He did not have to go. He seemed so upset and kept talking about her each day, and I just felt like I wasn't going to deprive him of that option. I felt like it was going to bother me if I just made the decision to not take him. So I gave him the decision, and as soon as I explained to him what it was, and as soon as I asked him if he wanted to go, as soon as I finished my sentence, he was like, "I want to go." And I was like, "Are you sure? You do not have to go, and it's okay if you don't go, but you can if you want." He was like, "I want to go." And so he said he wanted to give Mom the drawing, and he said he wanted to put it with her. We folded it up, and then at the funeral, while me and Liam were standing up there, and Josh, I believe, was standing up there, and Liam's dad, the funeral director put the little drawing in Mom's hand, and I didn't take any pictures of Mom or anything like that. And I know some people do and some people don't. I didn't think that I needed to have that just in my phone, but I did. I took a picture of her hands with his drawing in it, because it was just, I can see and hear my mom's reaction that she would have had he handed her a drawing that he did at school for her, when she was alive. I'm trying to think of everything that I wanted to say. I almost was gonna put off making this type of video even longer, or maybe not even do it, because I've just felt very drained. And so I was just gonna go on filming like normal and kind of let you guys know that, and let you guys know that if I ever felt the urge or felt like I wanted to talk about it one day, that I would. But something about just skipping over it and going on filming like normal just felt wrong. So the pastor said that 5 to 8 people were saved at Mom's funeral. My mom was a Christian, and she would have really loved to know that. Have her Bible. I'm not gonna get up and get it. I thought about using her Bible. I like to call myself a Christian, but I have failed to go to church very much in my adult life, and her passing has really changed my whole entire view on life and on everything. And I guess thanks to her, I have started reading my Bible again every day. We want to find a church. We have one in mind. I sound so gross and nasally right now, it's not even funny. We have one in mind. We're gonna try it out, see if we like it, just figure it out and find one that we love. I'm just trying to deal. I'm just trying. The past few days have actually been good. I've had a few days of like not crying unless it's just kind of like completely at random, but I've been able to kind of like stop the thoughts a lot better, because I have a lot of a lot of guilt that I think is like, honestly, I'm realizing is kind of silly and in my head. It makes me sad that Liam had not seen Mom in a little bit, but I try to remember that like she knew we were busy, and he actually used to go to her house all the time. They spent so much time together, and I'm trying to remind myself that they were obviously not deprived of time together, or Liam would not have been. I didn't even say. He was real quiet at first at the beginning of the funeral, but he did eventually just start like just sobbing. And then when we were driving from the funeral home to the cemetery, he sobbed the entire way. Not quietly, tears running down his face. No, he was just sobbing. I was trying to comfort him, and Josh was like, just let him get it out. He was not deprived of time with her because he would not react in the way that he did. My last time with her before she went to the hospital was Mother's Day, and me and my sister got a like kid-free day to do whatever we wanted together on Mother's Day, and 75% of what we were doing was picking out gifts for my mom for Mother's Day. And we were gone for a while. And it got to like a time in the day where both of us felt like we wanted to go back home because we didn't want to spend no time with our kids on Mother's Day and just like abandon the guys with the kids, So it was kind of one of those things where we were waiting for our mom to get to our other sister's house to give her gifts and this and that, and it ended up so late in the day. I don't remember what was going on, the circumstances, why my mom was getting to my sister's when she did, but whatever the reason, I don't remember all the details. I just know that it ended up to where me and Allison kind of just met up with her, gave her gifts. It was like a quick thing, and we hugged her, told her we loved her, and then she went to my sister's house. And we literally both got back in the van, and we both were like, I kind of feel bad because we didn't end up with enough time to go over to my sister's and hang out with our mom on Mother's Day. And then we drove home. She drove to our sister's. And that is the last time that I saw her before she was in the hospital. And once she was in the hospital, by the time I saw her, she was not the same. And I keep like replaying that in my head, that day or like that moment of seeing her, giving her gifts and stuff and leaving. And I try to remember that like it wasn't a bad memory. She wasn't upset. She wasn't like, oh, why are you not coming over to Heather's? It was fine. She was happy. She liked her gifts. She gave us a hug. Even though it was a good memory, I'm like beating myself up for it. I didn't mean for this video to be so negative because I was actually going to talk to you guys about how I've been doing really good. I think just talking about everything is making me cry. I've been doing like these little Bible plans. I have an app on my phone too, and they have like living through loss and stuff like that, and that's been helping me. I think I get sad when I think about Liam crying at the funeral, and when I think about just having to live the rest of my life with my mom not being here. So I try not to think about it too much if I can help it. I don't really know if I have anything else to say. I just wanted to get this video up. I kind of told you guys I was going to talk about it in my next video, and it's taken me a bit to get here to the point of filming it. Thank you guys for praying for my mom and for us. If you don't mind, please continue to pray for me and my family. It has been the hardest thing that I have ever had to go through, and I don't wish it upon anyone else, but most people will have to go through it. So call your mom today. Go see your mom today. Let her know how much you love her if you're able to do so. If you're not able to do so, then I'm sure that you encourage other people to do it. My next video should be happier. I'm thinking about doing a morning routine since both of the boys are in school. So I'll be looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.